So, something that I noticed that happened is basically like if I had a problem with regards to processing information. So basically, like I was in a situation, right? So like if you get into a physical accident, right? Usually what ends up happening is the adrenaline is going, so you're able to like exit the situation alive and relatively still physically functioning, right? And then later you have like basically a lot of like pain, pain and like healing to do, right? And there's a lot of physical injuries that happen like that. So like, like if you fall and you bang your leg, right, then like, or you twist your ankle or something like that, you like the actual action of twisting your ankle is like super quick, and then for like a week to a month you have like this fucking crippled walk, right? And you have like a pain for however like amount of time, right? There's no measurement for that, like psychological stuff. It's all completely like just like in your head, right? And then other people are looking at you like they're like, you're physically fine, you're like 100 you're tip top physically, man, like what's up, like, and then like there's nothing wrong, why would you have anything wrong, what's wrong with you? And then like, and then you're just like, it's like, okay, so like you're basically like pushed into like, so somebody's like, so society's like, well, because you don't have any like evidence, right? And if we were to hop in your body and feel your pain, right? Basically it's like, if we were to hop in your body and feel your pain right now, we wouldn't actually feel your pain because you're not undergoing anything physical, so it doesn't actually matter. And I'm like, I can see the logic, right? But there's the problem where you're just like having to do calculations, because like when you hurt yourself, right, or somebody hurts you, or you get into an accident, you're not necessarily sure like what the accident was, right? You're basically like, well, that really sucked, so like I gotta learn how to deal with that, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you fall when you're walking or when you're running or something, or you just get into some random accident, you kind of like, you gotta like note it. You're like, okay, so noted, I got into an accident, like here's where it happened, when it happened, how it happened, and like possibly why it happened, and then so it doesn't happen again, because like, getting partially disabled or handicapped for a certain amount of time is like I don't want to have to do that again, you know what I mean? Because I'm used to operating unhandicapped or undisabled, right? Yeah, so there's like repetitive stress injuries, right? So like if you're not learning, you're going to make the same mistake over and over and over again. So it's sort of like smoking, right? If you're smoking over and over and over again, you're hurting yourself, you're doing long-term damage, and you're like okay, and then like sure enough, like then you're gonna have to wait, like, the damage is done to your lungs, and you basically to get your lungs back, or like, you gotta wait like a really long time for your lungs to regenerate. And then by the time they've regenerated, you might have like adopted a lifestyle that's not necessarily complementary to the rest of your body. So it's like a little bit of a downward cycle. So it's like, okay, so yeah, like if you have something bad go on, like, try not to beat yourself up about it, and then realize that others will probably judge, and then you're screwed, because like, they might not like it. It's not obvious that you have a handicap. If you have something that happened to you, like people screw up all the time because they don't even know they don't even know you're physically disabled or handicapped sometimes, right? You could just be walking around or whatever. You might be missing a hand, but you got that stub in your pocket, and then they're going like, they're like, you ask for something, and then somebody might be like, why does somebody want this, right? And they're like, oh wait, they're missing a hand. They're like, oh wait, like I had no idea, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's kind of like I think like, even though you see somebody, right, if we were to just pretend that they're like words on a page, You know, so like you see them and then you're like, okay, they're just words on a page, like, or they're literally a photograph. Like I got a photograph of someone talking to me right now, and they're like, it doesn't represent who they are, right? Like even if you're talking to someone and they're able to like answer all your questions, and you're only going to see them for 5 minutes, that doesn't represent who they are. You know, unless you've been with them your entire life, that doesn't represent who they are. Because you know what? You may have like fallen asleep for 5 minutes and like they got abducted by aliens, you know, and then went into a time loop and then came back from like a, you know, epic journey. And then like you wake up next to them after 5 minutes and then like they don't know who you are anymore, you know? Totally possible. Totally fucking possible. And I'm like, okay. I gotta go. Okay, quite honestly, I'm trying to be as nice as possible at all given moments and do the best I can to represent myself, you know. I try and look pretty, like I'd like to look pretty for like, you know, the camera, and like try to represent myself properly, but like not everybody gets a chance to like look pretty for the camera, you know, like, well, yeah, like especially when you're sleep deprived and like, you know, trying to I'm gonna look into the eye of the camera, because like, yeah, the eye of the camera, I don't want anybody to think I'm lying. Like I'd really like to, you know, try to represent myself properly, and properly is definitely not gonna happen when you're stressed. When you're stressed, like things are gonna get ugly. Like just accept things are gonna get ugly, and also like try to just be as graceful as you can, and then just know that like you can always pull yourself out of any situation that you find yourself in, even though if that situation lasts for the rest of your life, you know that like you can work towards the end of your life knowing that you can die in peace, basically. So that's basically where I'm at, where it's like I can't pull myself out of this situation, but like realistically, like I'm at peace with myself, so like I'm ready to die at any given moment, but like that doesn't seem like it's gonna be anytime soon, and that's okay. Like I'm happy to leave, but like yeah, so like I think it's to everybody's benefit that like, you know, we all start to get on the same page with regards to assisted dying. You know what my problem is? I don't know how to just shut the fuck up. You know? I don't know how to just like not be here anymore. Like I don't know how to just like fall asleep wherever I want and wake up not smelling like BO and like having a full stomach and like not like needing anything. My problem is not, I can't actually generate my own energy to basically be completely independent from all the systems around me at all times, you know? And then I'm being like forced and threatened into communicating so that people understand my intentions, so that I take a position to then be attacked. Repeat. I did not do a good enough job in talking to the guys in the train station just now. Basically, like, I should have told them, like, I don't want them to fucking empathize with me, like, one bit, you know, and that they'd probably be better off not talking to me, right? And then I already arrived at the conclusion that, like, I should just be a fucking stone wall, not even fucking say anything, you know? The less said, the better, and, like, yeah, realistically, that's the answer. The less said, the better, pretty much, like, because if anything you can and say will be used against, or if anything can and will be used against you, then it's just, like, literally, like, it's just, like, the path of least resistance is just like ignoring, you know what I mean? Literally, it's just like about becoming the environment, because like I'm subject to the environment right now. Like literally, I'm cold, so I'm going to the emergency to request assisted dying about it, you know? And that's it. Like, so like the environment fucking wins every time, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for fucking summer so I can camp outside the emergency room, right? Yeah, but I literally, like I said, environment wins every single time, you know? We got this whole fucking thing going with regards, like, you know, like, yeah, like, if we all want to fucking get along with each other, like, we all got to share. What are we sharing? The fucking environment, you know? If you have a partnership, what are you sharing? The environment, which is you, right? Which is you, your body with your partner, you know what I mean? Or your body with your kids, or your body with your friends, family, fucking hospital,